This week on the Vic Meier Show, I'm going to take you to the McGee Creek Lodge. This right here is the McGee Creek Lodge. And what may look to you like a normal log cabin structure is actually quite unique and has a very interesting story. The McGee Mountain Rope Tow. Overlooking the 395 highway, just down the road from the McGee Creek Lodge, is the McGee Mountain Rope Tow, the historic 100-year-old Tamrak Lodge. Here in Mammoth Lakes, California, there is an abundance of historically significant locations. Of those locations, there's not many that are more significant than the Tamrak Lodge right here in the Lakes Basin. But first,
so yeah,
you gotta
watch the video. Watch the video. Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to get sidetracked in San Diego with Steve of Sidetrack Adventures.
I'm standing here with a person that I'm sure needs no introduction for many of my viewers. This is Steve from Sidetrack Adventures. Welcome, Steve, and thank you for talking to me.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm from here, from San Diego. I lived here almost my entire life. I was in the Army for 4 years. That's the only time I ever lived away from San Diego. I was stationed in North Carolina. And as far as starting up a YouTube channel, well, I bought a drone. I needed to find a reason to use my drone more often. Originally, I just planned on throwing drone footage on YouTube, and somehow buying that drone turned into making some videos. I have some videos that are no longer available on YouTube that are more just drone footage flying around, but it kind of just morphed into what it's become. One thing that kind of sparked an interest is when I was in the Army, I was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I think it's called like Fort Liberty or something now. They changed the name of it, but we were out doing some training, and just out in the middle of nowhere, we came across a old Civil War monument, and it was just out there. I was like, wow, what the heck is this doing out here? I guess there was a battle out there, and the monument was on no maps, nothing. And I'm sure it's on Google Maps now. Like you could probably find it. Like yeah, you could probably find it now, but and just finding that, and just like, you know, what else is out there, and just thinking about all this hidden stuff that's out there. And that's always kind of been in the back of my mind. So after getting out of the Army, you know, getting married, me and my wife would travel a lot, and I was always just kind of interested, like, what's down this road? You know, there's a reason this dirt road is here, what's down there. And so I was doing a lot of exploring. Yeah, I mean, every road has a story, so just finding out what that story is the hard part. As a kid, my dad would take us on summer vacations every year. We'd go all over the country. I went to every 50 state before I was, I don't know, 16, 15 years old. And so just traveling as a kid. My dad was a teacher. He had every summer off. So my dad had a truck. It had a camper shell on the back, and he had like a kit in the back that had like kind of turned into like a bed and everything. And I know we would, this is totally illegal now, but we had opened that back window and like climb through as, you know, driving down the freeway, and just hang out in the back and kind of go back and forth between the cab and the back. But yeah,
Same.
Yeah. So as far as inspiring me to do YouTube videos, I don't feel like I really copy anyone else's style. I just try to be myself when I'm out there. But I really liked watching like Abroad in Japan, Kara and Nate, like some of the other travel YouTubers. And then of course, you know, there's like Casey Neistat and people doing vlogs. But I try to focus more on the places that I'm going to rather than myself. So I'll appear in the video for like a little bit at the beginning or end, and then kind of just try to focus on where we're at, because I don't think I'm that interesting. The places that I'm going to are interesting, but you know, I don't have a lot to say. So a lot of stuff, places I've been before, or I'll see something, like I do a lot of just scrolling through Google Maps and seeing what's out there, and I'll come across a place and I'll kind of look at it and see if there's something interesting or if there's more to the story that I can find. And that's pretty much it. It's just a lot of reading, really. I mean, there's places that there's hardly any information online at all, and you got to do a lot of digging to get information. I have a subscription to newspapers.com, and I'm always like scrolling through old newspapers trying to find information, and it's tough sometimes. For sure. When I was a kid, I really liked South Dakota, up in like the Mount Rushmore area. They had Flintstone's Bedrock City. It's gone now, but the South Dakota one, we went there, several times. That was always like a real fun spot to visit, seeing Mount Rushmore. And just it's such a beautiful area up there too. But I think that's probably my favorite. I mean, we went all over, but like I could say like Disney World or something when I was a kid. But
all right, let's head on over to the White Stag Memorial, right?
Yep.
And I did mention something about that, I think, in one of my videos, but you cover it so much more in-depthly, so we're gonna definitely direct people over and include a link where I can to that video, because if you haven't figured out, I'm a fan. Steve, we'll see you over there at the White Stag.
all right.
I'm standing here with a face I'm sure most of you can recognize, and if you can't, you should find out about Steve with Sidetrack Adventures, one of my favorite channels, and now one of my favorite human beings. So we're going to get to know Steve a lot more, and right now Steve's going to show us one of the monuments that he covered in his or on his channel, Sidetrack Adventures. And this is the White Deer Memorial?
Yep. Yeah, so we're still in Presidio Park. We've kind of gone on to the other section of it. There's a canyon kind of splitting Presidio Park in half. So we've gone on to the other section. It's a section that not as many people know about. The path to get up here is kind of hidden off of a side road. But where we've come to the top of the hill, and we've come to the White Deer Memorial. There was actually 2 deers that used to live here in Presidio Park. There's differing stories on how they got here. Some say they were purchased from the zoo. The San Diego Zoo had extras. Somebody bought them, and they got out, and they decided to live in Presidio Park. Well, eventually it got down to 1 deer, and the deer would frequently get out onto the interstate as Interstate 8 was built down below us. And one day animal control decided they were going to remove the deer. They tried to tranquilize it, and it ended up killing the deer. And there's a memorial for the deer. Now, a lot of people think that the deer's ghost is still out here, and that people still see the ghost of the deer if you come out here at night. I don't really believe in that stuff, but it is a popular legend.
A couple of times your content's been plagiarized?
Yeah, there's been at least, I'd say to date, maybe 30 to 50 fake Sidetrack Adventures accounts on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. I've never had a TikTok. I don't plan on starting a TikTok. So if you ever run into a Sidetrack Adventures on TikTok, it's not me. Don't, if they message you, don't respond to them or something. It's definitely a dream come true. I mean, it's a dream job for sure. I mean, who wouldn't want to, basically make a living going around and filming different places. There's more to it than I guess I originally would have expected. Definitely a lot of paperwork. Taxes are a real thing.
So for all of the viewers out there that enjoy my channel, who also enjoy your channel, what do you have in store for them next week?
Next week I have a video on Dos Cabezas. I think it was from somebody saw Europeans in the Andes expedition.
Don't tell us too much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta watch the video. Watch the video. Yeah.
Give people a reason to watch. Steve, thank you very much for spending time with me today. And man, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to finally meet you and tell you how much I appreciate your videos. And thank you for the inspiration. And thank you for giving me all the information you have that helps lead me out on my adventures.
Oh, no problem. And, thank you.
I look forward to maybe seeing you out there on the road and getting a chance to collaborate with you one of these days.
Definitely.
This is the McGee Creek Lodge, and what might look to you like a normal log cabin structure is actually quite unique and special. And I'll tell you all about it right now.
Look closely and you'll see these logs are made from precast concrete, molded into the shape of logs, and done so in such a realistic way that legend has it Walt Disney incorporated this technique into the construction of Frontierland, home of Thunder Mountain, Tom Sawyer's Island, and the Country Bear Jamboree, which this wasn't exactly their first home. Their original home was meant to be high atop a mountain in a ski lodge at Walt Disney's ski resort that never came to be. Walt became an avid skier sometime after his doctor suggested that he figure out some form of exercise to help relieve the daily stress of his life. Disney's love for winter sports would help him become the director of pageantry during the Winter Olympics in 1960 in what was then known as Squaw Valley, California. Hans Schroll was a personal friend of Walt Disney's, and in 1939, Walt Disney would invest in a mountain that Hans Schroll would open, which would later become Sugar Bowl. Walt Disney's favorite mountain was the Matterhorn, and was in love with the Swiss country. It even inspired him to create his own Matterhorn, which I'm sure you're familiar with. You may be familiar with Disney's attempt to build a ski resort in Mineral Valley and call it the Mineral King Ski Resort, but there was another mountain he had his eyes set on before all of that. It was Mammoth Mountain. And it only fell through in the 11th hour due to what I understand is Dave McCoy's rejection to the deal. So, when a legend like Dave McCoy makes a decision like that, you back him up. And at the same time, one can't help but wonder what might have been if Walt Disney had bought Mammoth Mountain. Speaking of Mammoth Mountain, just down the road from the McGee Creek Lodge is the McGee Mountain Rope Tow and Dave McCoy's first successful ski operation. The first permanent rope tow in the Eastern Sierra was built west of this site on the east slope of McGee Mountain. This predecessor of Mammoth Mountain ski area was constructed here in 1938 because of its dependable snow and nearness to a highway. Prior to this facility, most downhill skiing was done by use of portable rope tow systems, a working gasoline engine, rope, and pulleys. Dave McCoy, being a world-class skier, entrepreneur, and visionary, was instrumental in organizing and promoting skiing here. The success of this rope tow motivated McCoy to move in 1941 to Mammoth Mountain. Subsequently, within a few years, the popularity of skiing here declined and this rope tow was abandoned. Some remnants of that rope tow can still be seen today along the slopes of McGee Mountain.
Woke up this morning with a drizzling rain. Around the corner come a passenger train. Heard somebody rolling, I hope I'm on. He did it, been a long time gone. He been a long time gone. Long time gone. If you wanna get to heaven, got a DIE. You gotta put on your coat and
Here in Mammoth Lakes, California, there are many historically significant locations. Of those locations, there's not many that are more historically significant than the Tamrak Lodge, right here in the Mammoth Lakes Basin. The Tamrak Lodge was built in 1924 as a fishing retreat by vaudeville star Eddie Foy and his family. Tamrak is the longest continuously operated lodge in the town of Mammoth Lakes, California. It also sits in one of the most beautiful locations in all of Mammoth Lakes.
well, I got a good woman, what's the matter with me? It makes me wanna love every woman I see. I was traveling.
There come some skiers hauling ass right down from the world famous Hole in the Wall. I'm here with Tess and Tim. It's Tim's birthday and they just were shooting down the hill you saw from Hole in the Wall, right?
Correct.
Yeah, how was that?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Inside, at least. Coming in,
It was a little icy.
Yeah.
It was soft inside, but it was pretty hard
Worth it though?
on the outside, but it was good enough.
Yeah.
Of course it was worth it. Yeah.
Of course, right?
Right.
Oh,
The
okay.
worst day out here is better than the best day in the city.
I know,
Work it,
right?
right?
I don't know.
That's
what
a
to
good
say.
birthday.
Well, and I understand it's your birthday, Tim, so
It
happy
is.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, come see me at Liberty Bar.
We'll do
I'll be
it.
there tomorrow.
Awesome.
Take
Sounds
care of you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys
Take
for taking
care.
time.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Look at that. Tim gave me the stamp of approval. Thank you, Tim. And again, happy birthday, my man.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Remember, when you're out there on the road, keep it between the lines. Look out for Smokey because he's looking out for you. And as always, thank you for allowing me to entertain you, presumably. This is the Vic Meier Show every Wednesday on YouTube. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I do enjoy those comments. You can also support me on Patreon and just by being you. I'll see you next week.
No.